Okay, so here we are at Webster. Same thing. Use trial and error to find a modified divisor. Calculate the modified quota for each state and, I think I went with orange on this earlier, round it in the usual way. Assign the number of representatives to each state. Keep varying the modified divisor until the sum of these assignments is equal to the total number being in proportion. Okay. So, where am I at here? Same example, 10,000 stockholders, and there's the original modified quota, which was 111.11. But originally we were doing Hamilton, and he always went with a lower quota. Webster would use standard rounding rules. So what he would do is, he's like, okay, it's 4.2. 4.2 is closer to 4 than it is 5. Remember the rounding rules? 4.2, the 2, if the 2 is less than 5, you would round down to the 4 because 4.23 is in between 4 holes and 5 holes. 4.00, 5.00. 0.23, and you can think about money this way. 23 cents is closer to $4 than it is $5. If you have $4.23, you're much closer to only having $4. You're further away from having $5. So that gave it the 4. And then 3.3, again, 3 is smaller than 5. So, because when you're at the halfway mark, you'd be at 4.50. That's halfway. So if it's 5 or higher, you go up to the 5.00. If it's less than 4 or less than 5, you go down to the 4.00. So we have a 0.3 right here. So the 3 stays at a 3. We have a 0.4. The 4 stays at a 4. Now here's the trick. Does he go up or does he go down? Well, right now, because you know Webster's like all over the place, but because it only adds up to 8, that is too small. He now needs a smaller modified divisor. So here's the next slide. What did he try? He's like, hey, let's try 1060. Okay, so now he divides them all by, here's the 1060. He's divided them all by. Now he's got 4.4. 4.4, that would round to 4 holes. 3.4 would round to 3 holes. But 1.5, there you go. That's going to go up to 2. And now 4 and 3 and 2 adds up to 9. So he only modified it one time and found it. Yay! So anyway, the last slide here summarizes all the different apportionment methods. And we've only had, I can't remember what colors I used, but we had Hamilton, and then we had Jefferson, and then we had Adams and Webster. And then we had different paradoxes. We had the Alabama paradox, and then there was the population paradox, and there was, I can't remember all the colors I've used, there was the new states paradox, and then we also covered the quota rule. You can't violate the quota rule because your numbers have to be between the upper quota and the lower quota. So you have to make sure that you're assigning either the upper or the lower quota. But sometimes when you modify these things, it messes it up. And one of them, like if it was between a 4 and a 5, but you assign 6, you just violated the quota rule. The quota rule says you got to stay in between the 4 and the 5. Okay, so that's the end of the PowerPoint lecture. And after this, I got several my math lab examples. I got quite a few actually. So I'll do each one of those in a separate video. All right.